He was dragged towards me, grade 5 playground. I knew we'd be friends. Orange shirt, purple tie, beetle boots, a fuddle-duddle sticker on his lunchbox. They wanted to marry us. I was drinking a warm can of sun-ripe apple lime that cut my lip when they pushed our faces together and chanted, "I now pronounce you man and wife." The only way out was to get a divorce. Traditionally, the divorce ceremony was sealed with a kiss in front of everyone at afternoon recess. When the time came, Lance ran towards me, wearing a Kleenex veil and a fistful of stinkweed.
Without coffee and without a bed, I'd rolled up my rim about 20 kilometers back on the highway, and my blankets were 2 chilly hours behind that. All I had on that country morning was a mission and a message, a bag full of Mojo dynamite. I fingered the battered satchel at my side, feeling my own flimsy hocus-pocus over and around the dark and ancient secrets within. It felt transparent. Only a lazy idiot could fall for this gimmick. Lucky for me, I guess, laziness and idiocy are powerful constants in this unpredictable world. What else can you count on? The house itself was unremarkable, hardly the pulp novel image of a wretched hive or a royal refuge, which was, of course, the whole point.
Oh, I know I'm gonna get through it.
You mean you're going to complete the novel?
Well, I'm gonna complete something. It's gonna be an entity unto itself, and it will have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
You know what, though? Right about now, this is the best thing I think that could happen to us. It's easy
so,
on the back, and I'm feeling mellow right about now.
I feel fantastic. I could just lie here.
Pity you can't type upside down.
Well, you know, maybe I should have learned to write with my toes. That would have been really good. That would have really come in handy today. And these glasses are coming in handy because the fluorescent lights are getting to everybody. And I'm going to complete this. It's a great exercise. You know, you can't lose with something like this. The worst that can happen, you leave with a bunch of material that you can turn into something else.
That's true. We've got a prepared profile of you, so let's take a look at the Ali Riley profile.
Reading and writing have always been two of the biggest things in my life. I was born in Calgary in Grace Hospital and went from there to an orphanage and then to a foster home and was adopted by my parents in Calgary. Grew up here in Edmonton. I started writing when I was 5. I wrote a play about some gypsies. Went to junior high school and whatnot in Calgary, became a bit of a juvenile delinquent, hitchhiked all over Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Got into the punk rock scene in Calgary in the early 80s. Became a songwriter for a band called Sacred Heart of Elvis, and then I started writing plays. I wrote 6 plays that were produced in Toronto, and then I turned to poetry. In '98, I moved to a shack on the river in the Slocan and started writing what became Wayward there. I have 2 books of poetry out, and it's kind of a mixture of poetry and prose, so I'm looking to go a little bit more towards the prose. The first book I call Autobiographical Exorcism. It's about a young girl who's a runaway. The second book partially tells the story of Saint Teresa of Avila, and it mostly deals with the notion of impermanence, whether it be buildings, relationships, or life itself. I am constantly reevaluating everything.
So, Ali, what's the working title of the novel?
It's called Hag.
Hag? Mm-hmm. Could you give us a summation of the plot?
Well, basically, it's about a young girl going to gay bars in the 70s in Edmonton with her best friend. She's a beard by day and a hag by night.
All right. That's it. Thanks.
I am a freelance writer currently. Writing is my passion and my recreation. I started writing when I was a young child, and I never really thought of it as a professional career until I went to university and I got involved with the Gateway, the student newspaper at the University of Alberta. When I dropped out of university, I went straight to paid freelance writing. I haven't really had to stretch myself much to keep body and soul together, and it's just about time for that to change.
live from Chapters in Edmonton. And I'm with Darren Zenko. I just happened to be browsing around the store. Look what I found.
Yeah, that's the book, all right.
Now, this was your first book?
That was my second.
Your second book?
Yeah.
All right, so are you sticking with the sci-fi theme here?
Yeah, I'm working on kind of an urban hoser, hard-boiled magic fantasy thing.
All right,
yeah, urban fantasy, I guess, yeah.
With 2 days into the 3-day marathon here, how's it feeling right about now?
It felt really good earlier this afternoon when I sort of revamped my outline and turned it into the outline that I should have walked in with. I didn't know what to expect. I was too ambitious. I got frustrated, and now I'm clipping along. Hopefully I'll get through it.
Cool. Look, before another comment, we've got a profile of your work, so let's throw to that tape right now and come back soon.
Writing it's my bread and butter, it's my profession, but it's also my passion and my recreation. I started writing when I was a young child, like a lot of people I think would get that same answer. And I never really thought of it as a professional career until I went to university and I got involved with the Gateway, the student newspaper at the University of Alberta. As far as setbacks in my writing career go, I would have to say the biggest setback has been I had some early success writing for money, and I think I got spoiled by that a little bit, so I haven't been as aggressive and as hungry as I probably ought to have been. I am a freelance writer currently and a man about town. The time I spend out at night is generally spent coming home from somewhere else.
What does that mean?
It means I drink a lot. When I dropped out of university, I went straight to paid freelance writing. I got a gig with the Edmonton Journal reviewing video games. I haven't really had to stretch myself much to keep body and soul together, and it's just about time for that to change. I'm not much of an outdoorsman, and I'm not a rodeo rider, so this is the closest thing to extreme sports that I can do given the skill set that I have.
This whole experience, sum it up in 3 adjectives.
Exciting, frustrating, humbling.
Oh my gosh. See ya next time.
He made it out alive. If his regained swagger didn't quite fit, I didn't care.
Was the perfect monument to 26 honest years in the shoe business.
As you all know about literature, this is all very subjective. But I think that I really liked That's Right, Estelle, You Won't Be Coming Back by Timothy. I really liked Laura's. The question mark at the end, she slung the overnight bag over her shoulder without looking back.
Jill.
Whose was it?
Jill.
Oh, it's yours. Sorry. Jill. I really like Jill's. What? Sorry. I can't read all of your writing very well, but I think my favorite was I Tend to Love the Traumatized. Ali's was really fun.
Oh, I love the job.
Now, is this an advantage to you, knowing that you've now been spotlighted as like a solid?
Yeah, I was really hoping. Well, we did win the massage challenge, which was great because I got a massage and that really helped me. But this is really helping because I didn't have this as my ending before. So now I just have to make the last part of the book fit the ending.
5 years during which he had established a thriving smoking habit and lost 3 girlfriends had blunted Steve, body and soul. He still went to parties, and he still talked like an automatic lawn sprinkler, oscillating back and forth, casting his loud opinions across the lawn of strangers. Only now, his voice came thicker, fatter.
Based on just the beautiful description and the quality of the writing, in addition to the character sketch, I'm going to give the prize to Darren.
Yeah! It's your day.
They were there last night.
They look revolting.
Look at those. I slept well. I had about 4 hours. There's an old Larry Miller comedy bit about the 5 levels of drinking. He was making jokes like, well, as long as I get 14 hours of sleep tomorrow, And so I kind of get into that trap where it's like, all right, well, all I got to do is do 40 pages on today and then another 40 on Monday, and I'm in the clear. So probably not possible, but we'll see.
I can't sleep because Catherine is snoring to beat the band.
It's about 3:15. Oh, shit. I'm glad I washed my hair today.
So the existential anguish happened, the punchiness happened, and finally the snoring stopped.
These are all like a lot of great people.
Darren, were you having an existential crisis there?
I've never been really good at, no, I don't think so.
But you were just telling me you're in the moment now. Things
yeah.
have changed.
Yep.
Why have they changed?
I had some really good dreams last night. Some pretty awesome stuff. So I got some good images, something to work with.
And you've also got a handle on the whole dynamics of the thing right now, is that correct?
A little bit better than I had yesterday,
Yeah. What's the breakthrough in understanding the dynamics?
Looking at my page count compared to everybody else's page count, and looking at my jacking around compared to everyone else's working really hard.
And have you got a title for the work yet?
It's called The Perpendiculars.
The Perpendiculars. A 3-day novel contest, live from Edmonton. Chapters Indigo, South Point. Come and check us out. Stay tuned. More on Bookteller.
I don't like the bright lights too much. I'm not a big fan of the fluorescent bulb. But, no, it's okay. I had this really great message from a good friend of mine in Toronto, and he said, the way to look at this, Ali, is you're in jail. You know, you've been worried about someday someone's going to put you in jail, and now you're there. And so what are you going to do in jail? You're going to write. Just, listen to the coughing and the hacking at night of the other cellmates and hope nobody's got a shiv.
I went to bed at about 5:30, and then I woke up this morning because Allie was getting interviewed in my room, and she said, "Wake up, you lazy bitch." That's why I got woken up.
I think Felicia's really happy with us right now. I think she's really, really happy that we're relating on such a basic, good level while she's trying to sleep.
Felicia, you lazy bitch, get up. It's rotten time, sugar.
This is my suitcase, and I go back and forth a lot because I live in the country, and so if I come in to see a show or have dinner with friends in Calgary, I always have to stay overnight at, a friend's place or something. So I like to bring this because it's just a little piece of home, and it's kind of filled with stuff that people have given me. Melanie Little gave me this magic acorn. She said it was magic anyway. This was made for me by a friend out of rabbit fur that she actually trapped and skinned herself. It's the head of what Catherine calls the BVM, Blessed Virgin Mary. Yeah, this is a quote from Lorca and a little drawing of him. It's just, I'm big on talismans.